We leave behind Rabat on Morocco's Atlantic coastal plain and head to Fez in the foothills of the Atlas. According to some scholars, Fez is a region of rolling hills, abundant rivers, cedar-covered slopes, and lush green pastures. The areas around Fez and Meknes are central to Morocco's agricultural industry. Here, farmers grow olives, wheat, flowers, sugar beets, lavender, and an assortment of fruits and vegetables. Like the American Midwest, this is the country's breadbasket, harvesting a large percentage of the crops and livestock. This region is also facing the effects of climate change, with the World Bank noting that drought and water scarcity are having immediate impacts on crop yields. 2023 was an especially tough year. Along with drought, this region faced a very dry winter, when they usually see snows in the higher elevations. As spring set in unseasonably warm winds, known as sirocco's, prevented flowers from blooming. Halfway through the drive, we stopped for lunch at a rest stop in the city of Kamisset. It was a great place to talk to other tourists, grab a burger, and get some snacks for the rest of the road trip.
If you go to
from Saudi Arabia to come here, and they conquered Morocco. They make it the first imperial city, and they started to preach Islam. So the Berbers, they had to convert, some Jews also from from Judaism to Islam, and also the Berbers, all of them, now they're all Arabs. So they're all convert in the beginning of the 9th century. We have here the biggest Medina in North Africa. That inside the Medina is about 250,000 people live inside this Medina. Tomorrow when we are going in there is like a living museum. We are entering from the 14th century and coming out in the 9th century. And inside you will not find no bicycles, no bikes, only mules. When you hear the word balak, remember the word balak, quickly move away, because the mule carries all the bottles of Coca-Cola, the bottles of
Fez features a unique urban geography split between the ancient car-free Medina and the modern French-built Ville Nouvelle. The Medina is a labyrinthine network of narrow pedestrian streets, a maze of residences, souks, and historical monuments clustered along the Fez River. In contrast, the Ville Nouvelle features wider streets, a plateau setting, and serves as the modern economic hub with industry and transportation infrastructure. Fez has an estimated population of around 1.34 million in 2025, with projections suggesting continued growth. The majority of the city's residents are Arab Berber, with a very small minority of other ethnic groups. Religiously, the population is overwhelmingly Sunni Muslim, with tiny Christian and Jewish communities. Classical Arabic is the official language, but the most widely spoken dialect is a distinctive Arabic dialect known in the region. Fez is the first imperial city in the country. It was founded on the banks of the Wadi Fez by Idris, the first on the east bank about 789 and Idris II on the west bank in the year 809. The two parts were united by the Almoravids in the 11th century to become a major Islamic city. Fez reached its zenith as a center of learning and commerce under the Marinids in the mid-14th century and has kept its religious primacy through the ages. Idris II was drawn to the abundance of water as well as the fertile land surrounding it, as mentioned before. He established his empire here in the 800 CE. Today, Fez is known for its religion, art, sciences, craftwork, and trade activities. The Fez Medina, often described as Morocco's cultural and spiritual center, is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. After a kosher meal in which I had a cheese pizza, we head back to the hotel for a nightcap of dessert.
Please, I am speaking now. You can talk later. Thank you. That is the gate of the Jewish quarter. When the King Hassan II, when King Hassan II decided to make the main entrance to the King's Palace, in front of us where you see those metal was a Jewish cemetery. In the wall is to bring the air, because they are made with pizay, mud and straw and stone. Can you see that on your right is written Bet HaHaim in Hebrew? That is the Jewish cemetery. We are going to be walking there. Please take your camera, hats if you have, and water.
Its 200-year-old Jewish cemetery symbolizes the centuries-long coexistence of diverse communities in the city. It is located immediately behind the south wall of the Mela and is one of the best-maintained Jewish cemeteries in Morocco. Those venerated Jews buried here have individual shrines, whereas most others are buried in neat rows of whitewashed graves. One of those shrines most often visited by Jews is that of Lala Sulika. Long story made short, she was a Jewish woman that lived in Fez. One of the Sultan's sons saw her and immediately fell in love. In Moroccan custom of the day, he went to her parents to ask for her hand in marriage. Even though her parents gave their consent, she refused on the grounds that she would have to convert to Islam. The Sultan's son went to local government officials to say that she had no right to refuse his proposal and that she had converted to Islam. Eventually, she was taken before the Sultan, where she continued to profess that she was indeed Jewish. She was later found guilty of violating local laws and then put to death. Her martyrdom is memorialized here, as her remains are buried here. Rafi says that there is a section of unmarked graves for those who died from the plague. It is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. A UN newsletter noted a French woman whose Jewish father requested he be buried in Fez. "My father was a lover of Morocco and a lover of Fez," says Miss Ohana, who was born and raised in the city. "We lived in harmony. There was no tension. We all knew we were Jews, Muslims, or Catholics, and we never had any problems on that side."
How are you? Good morning. Number one.
Okay. So you have a night, you call it Crystal Night. You have a night here, we call it Treatle night. In Berber, Treatle is the massacre on the 25th of December, eve of Christmas. In 1912, when the French they came, they told the plot on the Jews, and they went inside the Jewish quarter and they slaughtered more than 3,000 Jews, and they took all their belongings. That it was every year on the 25th of December, a lot of the Jewish community from all over Morocco and France, they will come here for a memorial. Of that night, we call it the treacle. When we say a massacre, if a woman comes to you and said, I had to go from Morocco because I was bitten by a Muslim, yes, not because he was thrown out. He was also, we had racism, I will not say. Look in my age, when I was age of 9 and coming out from my school, and my kippah was grabbed from my head and put on the floor and stepped on it. And who did it? One of my Muslim best friend and my neighbor from my family home. The Muslims, and here you can see Serfati. Those are the Jews from the 11th century who they were from France exiled to Morocco. So
As you walk out, there is an ablution station to wash oneself before departing the cemetery. There is also a donation box to help support the upkeep of the cemetery.
hello, can I have your attention? Please, can I have your attention? This is Mr. Cohen. So that he cannot go inside the cemetery, but he is one of the responsible of the community of Fez. Actually, now the Bible.
By the time Idris II came to power, Jews had settled in Fez in great numbers. Some scholars write that Idris saw the value of Jews in boosting the economy and therefore encouraged more Jews to move to Fez. Thousands more would settle here, coming from other areas of Africa and fleeing persecution on the Iberian Peninsula. Many chose Fez as their new home, while others continued on to cities like Meknes. Jews survived through periods of peace and periods of persecution. All throughout, Fez remained a center of Moroccan Judaism, even after the movement of the capital to Marrakesh and later Rabat. Fez has been so instrumental to the history of Jews in the region. Some have referred to it as the Jerusalem of the Maghreb. The Moroccan government, along with non-profit groups, are investing in preserving Fez Jewish heritage. Andre Azoulay, the senior advisor to King Mohammed VI of Morocco, stated that Morocco is built around a model of openness, harmony, and synergy that has seen the convergence of Arab Islamic, Amazigh, and Saharan Hassanian confluence, and that has, at the same time, been enriched by African, Andalusian, Hebrew, and Mediterranean tributaries.
Please, yes, everybody sit. We have to do quick before another group comes and then we cannot talk anymore. Please have a seat. Please.
Oh, she was following us all the time. I didn't see her.
Broken. All these lamps, then we see the memorial lamps. I had to take them to the Jewish museum because I didn't want to leave them here because this was abandoned until I had to know who belongs to this thing, till I found one of his descendant family who they live in Canada. So I called him and I said what I am doing. He said I will be here in a week and we can talk about this synagogue. The first thing I told him, this is your ancestor synagogue. Why do you leave it abandoned like this? This is one of your history. He said, well, it's very high budget to build, to restore this synagogue, and this UNESCO gave money. Lot you can see a plaque there who gave the donation, because this synagogue to restore cost about more than $100,000. This was for the rabbis. For them, they will use only this big thing. Next week, afterwards, you can go. Well, they will not go inside here to in their mind. They will know it by heart. The bima that you see there is always in there. Why? Because on the top is the Ezrat Nashim for the ladies, so they can see the Torah there. Here before was, when I came here, there were here 12 Sefer Torahs. All of them. I will tell you. So it was here 12 Sefer Torahs. The family Ibn Danan, they took them with them to Canada. They left 4. They are in our museum, and one is here that is about 80 years old. Okay, but it's not kosher Sefer Torah. So I asked the man, why do you need 2? Actually, this one is enough. He said, no, we are the Moroccan Jews. Every Sefer Torah, it is ready for the thing we needed. Sheni and Hamishi, every Thursday, every Monday and Thursday, we lay in the Torah. So that Sefer Torah is ready. Shabbat, another Sefer Torah ready. For Rosh Chodesh is ready. For High Holiday is ready. Why? Because the Jews of Morocco, they have no patience to take the Sefer Torah.
The largest car-free urban area in the world, Fez El Bali, or Old Fez, is a warren of twisting lanes and centuries-old monuments and mosques. As well preserved as the traditional architecture are the traditional crafts practiced here for centuries. This is a rare opportunity to see how many distinctly Moroccan treasures, from fine leather to copper pots, are made. Far from resembling a well-preserved museum, the Medina remains a living, earthy town, thanks to its 200,000 residents. Apart from electricity and improved plumbing, little has changed. Venturing through its main horseshoe gateways is an immersive and almost bewildering foray into a labyrinthine knot of narrow streets, lanes, and alleys lined with blank-walled houses and punctuated with dead-end squares. It exudes an almost organic complexity. Thoroughfares twist and turn, rise and fall, among hundreds of homes that meld with shared walls and rooftops. There's a romantic, almost childlike pleasure in getting lost in this low-rise urban tangle, and several cafes and eateries to rest a while and fuel up. The challenge lies in seeking out its monuments. Ancient mosques and elaborate madrasas or religious colleges with stunning decorative courtyards, or discreet old-school hammams and crumbling fondues. There are souks, or markets, tomb shrines, and even the remnants of an enigmatic water clock. Wedged almost furtively into the heart of it all stands the Kairouan Mosque. No longer Morocco's largest, it still spearheads the country's religious life and, historically, was among the world's first universities.
I kind of want to, curl up there, take a nap. I know, right? Oh my God!
We stop, right? Stop, we're waiting. Yeah. For those who like to go on a diet, he has to look for the beef jerky. I say in a reversal way, beef jerky with the fat. So it gives you more portions.
No shopping at the moment.
You guys didn't buy anything. I want to buy a dress. I want to buy a nice, yeah. I know that
Hello. Yalla, we have to move.
Turmeric. How do you say turmeric? Kurkum.
Let's move on.
Can I kiss this corner?
There's another chair here. Yalla, get out of Please, you have to
Morocco, it's the north of Africa. It's the gate of Europe. When you decide to come to Morocco, you're in Africa. Our first habitants of Morocco, they are native Berber. First religious for 2,000 years is Judaism. Then comes the Christ, then comes the Islam in the 9th century. So it means that's something we appreciate. So of course a woman, you could see lovely work. That we call it, it's an heritage of Morocco. That of course made by Berber, by Jews, and by Moroccan people that they are mixed. So of course Fez is very known by that star that you see in the middle, with the lovely beautiful carpets for beautiful ladies. So,
Smart ladies.
I know, but smart ladies, they are priceless. Allah Habibi. Allah Habibi. Allah Habibi. So that comes handmade. Oh, it's handmade. And of course we give a receipt. And of course you do have a witness. My colleagues, they speak English, they will try to help you at least full carpet. Thank you once more again.
Can you walk us through some
God bless
prices?
America, Canada, Israel, Palestine, Morocco.
$20 if you want.
I'll make this size.
For his job. Al-Muaddin, a man calling to worship list of prayers. His main job for the call to prayer. Al-Imam, doing the prayers 5 times a day. Alim, high status, is the one to give lectures in private. Because he guys for purposes, again, plus intro here, and at the same time, he was the most famous doctors at the epoch of the 12th century. So he was.
Rafi says that the tanning process here has changed very little from medieval times. Men stand knee-deep in large vats filled with a combination of cow urine, pigeon droppings, and ash. The men stand on the hides to keep them submerged in the organic mixture. While there, it is encouraged to take a sprig of mint to put under your nose to mitigate the stench from the process.
Okay. Anybody want there is a kibbah is here one? Haya, nake foktaliki. Shalom. And he had also his own home here. So what he did, when they gave him the permission to do the synagogue, he broke the walls and make it much bigger. Because you can see that the tiles gives you a black and white tiles because there were a wall here in this part here. 5 people for their ancestors, for their father or something, and they will light it on the day of the memorial. Okay? Any questions? A beautiful light comes inside from those windows with beautiful colors. Okay? So before we leave, everybody stands there. We're going to have a group shot.